Hello everyone. So today I'm going to show you guys a salsa recipe because my garden is blooming so well this summer and I have so many tomatoes and I've eaten so many of them already and I just don't know what to do anymore with them. So I'm going to make some salsa, I'm going to can it, and I'm going to show you guys the process. So as you can see, there's tons of tomatoes, little yellow ones, cherry ones, plum ones, big Orlone tomatoes, and like beefsteak ones, tons and tons of different kinds. So for this recipe, I'm gonna use 2 green bell peppers, 4 little jalapeno peppers, an entire head of parsley. I used curly parsley, but you can use any parsley. This is only half the tomatoes. I wasn't able to fit all of them onto the tray. I'm also going to put in some lemon juice, and I used the canned one, the one that comes in the little plastic lemon thing. It says I used 3 lemons. And I'm also going to use 2 cans of tomato paste. Then I used almost this whole clove of garlic. I highly suggest that you put in maybe some onions, but onions make me smell funny. So I start off with taking any imperfections out of the tomatoes, any little bug holes, or if the rind is a bit too hard. So I take off any little blemishes and spots, and then I just cut it up. Beside me, I already have the pot that I'm gonna cook in, and I'm putting everything straight into it. And I also have a little food bean bag that I put all of my trash in, the food trash. So I just cut it in half, and then I cut it in half again down through the middle. And then I just slice it up. Sometimes it crushes. These tomatoes are so juicy and sweet, they literally melt in your mouth. Like, it is not compared to any of the plastic textures that you get in the grocery store. They absolutely melt in your mouth. It's so magnificent. I don't even have the words to describe it at the moment. When you scrape up everything from the board, I do suggest using the back side, but that normally dulls your knife, but I didn't do that. Also, if you don't want your salsa to be very watery, don't put those juices in, but I did because sometimes I use it instead of tomato sauce. And then for the little cherry ones, I just take the tops off and I cut them in half. And then that process keeps going on and on and on and on. Those yellow tomatoes are actually yellow. Maybe some of you might think they're not ripe or something, but that is how it is. See, like, it doesn't even cut. It just wants to burst. It's so fabulously, oh, just goodness, so delicious, so wonderful. Grow some tomatoes, guys. For my bell pepper, I just cut off all the way down the sides, all 4 sides, and I literally just take the core out. It just comes out, and then you don't get much waste. I sometimes do eat peppers whole. It's like an apple. It's really good. And then just slice down them, and then I just slice lengthwise. Lengthwise? Widthwise? You guys get the picture. Just coarsely chop it and just throw it in the pot. I ended up chopping 2 peppers, and I did go over it a little bit, but it doesn't really matter. It all get cooked down in the end. Next came the jalapeno peppers, and if you guys like things a little bit on the spicy side, just coarsely chop the jalapeno pepper, but I'm not a big fan of too much spicy. I'm such a baby when it comes to spicy food, so I had to take the seeds out of it, which was kind of a hassle, but I tried my best to do with that. And guys, make sure you don't rub your eyes. That would not be smart at all. And I just chop it the same exact way I chopped the green pepper, just a little bit more finely. Just looks like so much pepper from now, but it really wasn't that much. You could add a lot more. None of these are a particular recipe or anything. I'm doing this all by eye. For garlic, I used almost the entire clove. I had maybe a quarter of it left, and I just break it up into all the little pieces. I don't even bother breaking them up separately sometimes. And I always cut off the very end, like that part that you see now. I cut it off, and then it makes it a lot easier to peel the garlic, and I just cut it off on all of them. After I did that, I just crushed it because I don't like eating garlic that much, but I do want the flavor of the garlic, and I didn't have any garlic powder on me, so all that flavor will just marinate into the sauce. And when you eat the salsa or the tomato sauce, you'll just be able to pick it out because they'll be visibly there. So this is what it looks like at this stage. You can see the colors are so vibrant and so beautiful. It's just life. Next step, I went on to a giant parsley massacre. I just took off all the stems in one go, and I don't throw out my stems. When I'm making soup, I do put the stems in so that the flavor gets into it, but for this step, I only used the leafy parts. Flat parsley would also work very well, and if you're using dry parsley, just use maybe half the amount. Then I just poured it in my lemon juice. You can use vinegar, I don't know, lime juice, maybe. And then I just plopped in my tomato sauce. I didn't bother stirring anything up at this state. I just plopped everything in, and then when it got onto the stove, that's when I tried to stir it up. So I put in 2 cans of tomato paste, and I just popped it up on maximum because I want to get this up to a boil. And I did try to stir this while holding the camera, but it was quite the fail. I needed both hands. I need to hold the pot. But as you can see, the color is just absolutely magnificent. Some little pieces actually look like avocados, if you really notice, but nope, no avocados here. And then this is what it looks like when it's just completely mixed up. Absolutely beautiful. Like, I want to eat it now. So pretty. So then I just let it simmer for about half an hour, and make sure you keep mixing. I popped in some basil leaves, and a trick for you guys is to put your spatula on top so it doesn't bubble over. So then I started cutting up little pieces of parchment paper to put onto little tags for my sauce bottles. And make sure you keep stirring because it can get stuck to the bottom, depends on the pot you have. I forgot to film this stage, but beforehand I put these lids and these mason jars into this boiling water for 15 minutes to sterilize it. And then I tried to do this with one hand again. And as you can see, I completely missed. I made the biggest mess ever. It took me at least half an hour to clean my kitchen again. But I did try. But the color, I'm still so amazed at the color of this. So pretty. As I said, if you don't want it this watery, you can leave out all the juices out of the tomatoes. You can even tap them dry with a paper towel. This is what it looks like. I ended up with 3 mason jars that were 1 liter each, and then one little one. This little one I didn't close completely. I just put it in my fridge. Make sure you go over with a paper towel. I definitely had to, so that when you close the mason jars, nothing gets in the way of them being closed properly. As you can see, I made a huge mess. There's water everywhere, there's sauce everywhere. And then I just popped in my mason jars back into the water for another 15 minutes. This is what's called a water bath for the lids to pop. So then I turn them upside down after the water bath, and I wrap them up in a towel overnight. And that is the basic it. That is the salsa. So from a craft store, I just got these tiny little flowers and some ribbon, and I try to make it pretty, something pretty to look at when I open my fridge or when I open the cupboard. I tried. I thought it was really cute. I thought it was absolutely adorable. And this is the final product. Thank you for watching. Bye. If bugs are eating your vegetables, You better be eating them too.